Hi, George here with my Minecraft 1.20 Enchanting Table Bookshelf Setup video. And I'll be showing you everything about how to work with the enchanting table, including how to set up your bookshelves, how to make the enchanting table, what can be enchanted, the new things about the enchanting table that have changed here in Minecraft 1.20. And I'll also show you how you can increase the number of enchantments that you have available to you with a real simple trick. It takes some setup, but it's fairly straightforward. Let's start by getting these bookshelves out of the way, and then we'll craft an enchanting table. Get these hidden over here. There we go. I'll be showing you how to do this towards the end of this video. Very, very useful setup to have. Okay, with the enchanting table in here, it's already pretty basic. Let's just get rid of that. There we go. Now what you need is a space here in the middle and then some space around this. You need to have one row of blocks around the enchanting table and then one row beyond that for your bookshelves. Now to build the actual enchanting table, it's pretty straightforward, and this requires 4 obsidian. You also need to have some diamonds, and this requires 2 diamonds. Of course, you're also going to have a diamond pickaxe to get that obsidian, so pickaxe is 3 diamonds. So you could say it takes 5 diamonds to get the crafting table going, and then you need 1 book. Books are really easy to come by. Let me just set this up here. Here's our 4 obsidian, 2 diamonds, and there's a book. And then we'll go over to a crafting table. And I have one right back over here. Okay, so take your 4 obsidian, go right across the bottom, and then 1 in the middle. And then your diamond goes on either side, and then 1 book on top. And there you go, there is your enchanting table. Bring that down, and we'll then place that right here, right in the middle of the floor, right where I have that brick section showing. And there we go, there's a basic enchanting table. Now to use this, you right-click on this, and that opens up the enchanting table. Now notice we have 2 slots here, left-hand side, and then these 3 things in the middle. That is for lapis lazuli, and I have that right down here. Just drop that in. And then this slot is for whatever it is that you want to be enchanting. Now you can enchant tools, like I have right down here, or you can enchant weapons, or you can enchant armor. You actually can get a few more enchantments as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But the enchanting table can be used on these 3 things. Let's just take a look here at a diamond pickaxe. So you put a tool in here, and then you get some options over here, right-hand side. Now, at this point, I only have just the enchanting table and no bookshelves around this. So we're only getting the top stuff here, only getting the first line up here. This is efficiency 1. Now, on the left side, this is how much is it going to cost you to do this. It's going to cost you 1 lapis lazuli, and it's also going to cost you 1 experience level, 1 XP. So that's pretty straightforward. Now you need to have at least 30 XP to get the best of the enchantments down here, but it's only going to be using up to 3 of your XP. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. The way you get more levels in here is to have bookshelves. Let's just bring down some bookshelves here. And the basic setup for this is just right around, you need 15 bookshelves total. That's the highest number you can use. And as you place these around, you're going to get more options here inside. Now, it's not a perfectly straight level. This one's now giving me a level 1 and a level 3 right down here. So it gives you different levels. Now, notice that there's these kind of strange symbols in here. This is just random stuff. Ignore that. It doesn't actually mean anything. You can't translate that into anything. It's just symbols. Notice that this one has a question mark after it. This one also has a question mark after it. That means that you may get additional enchantments along with this. You have a better chance for that with the higher enchantments and less with the lower enchantments, but you may get more than just the efficiency. You may get some additional enchantments in there. Okay, let's add in another bookshelf in here. Now notice as you have your bookshelves in here, they begin to send out these symbols in here. Those are the same glyphs that we saw inside the book in here, inside the enchanting table. Now, again, those don't actually mean anything, but they're showing that the table is now grabbing power from the bookshelves. The more bookshelves you have, the more power you have. Let's just right-click on this, and we'll set this back up in here. There we go. So we now have full power because I have more of those bookshelves, but even here, what you get for your top one will change depending upon how many bookshelves you have. So what you really want to do is to go for a total of 15 bookshelves. And the basic setup is just like this. Let's just walk this around here. Like that. There's your basic bookshelf setup. Now you don't have to put it exactly like this. You also can put these too high, but 15 is the max that this will be using with. I could add in additional, 16, 17, 18, but those additional ones wouldn't be used. Only up to 15 are ever used at one time. Now the bookshelves have to be on the same level as the enchanting table or one level above. I have the ones underneath. Those aren't being used because they're below the enchanting table. So they have to be at the same level or one level above to work. All right, let's now go ahead and make some bookshelves. Now for bookshelves, you're going to need to have books. And for books, you're going to need to have leather and paper. And right over here, have some cows in here. So you want to breed a whole bunch of cows. Let's just do some breeding in there while I'm at it. There we go. I'll get some cows going. So you breed as many cows as you can. And what you'll be needing in here is 45 leather. It's going to take you more than 45 cows to get that, but you need 45 leather. You're also going to want to have some additional books as well, so don't stop at 45. Make yourself several more while you're at it. Now you also need to have paper, and for that you're going to want to have sugarcane like this. Now sugarcane can be grown any place, but you do need to have water right next to it. In other words, I couldn't plant sugarcane over here, but I could plant it right here. And you need a lot of sugarcane. Each book takes 3 sugarcane. Each bookcase takes 45 books. So you need 135 sugarcane. But that's actually not that hard to get. Just harvest this right in the middle like that. Pick all those up, and you'll get your 135 very quickly here. It doesn't really take that much to do this. Let's just go ahead and we'll just chop this out there, and there we go. Now I have water underneath that bamboo right there, so that's where my water is hiding for all of that. Okay, so that gives us a whole bunch. That was 24 right here already. I think I have 1 or 2 hiding in the water. There's just 1 or 2 right down over here. Just grab those. There's 27, there's 28. So I had 28 there with just that first run through. Do that 4 times, and I have enough paper for the books. Okay, let's go back to the crafting table. Set these books up. So for a book, you need to have 1 leather. Then you need 3 paper, just like that, and that gives you 1 book. Then you need 45 of those books to make your bookcases. Now for a bookcase, take some planks across the top, across the bottom, and then put your books across the middle. So it's just like making a bookcase, and there is your bookshelf. And you need 15 of those bookshelves to set up the most power for your enchanting table. And again, they go around the sides. Let's just bring ours back up again here. I'll be showing you how to do this part of this later in the video, describing the whole process for making these hidden bookshelves. There we go. Now, like I said, you can enchant different things. Let's just put some lapis up here. You can enchant weapons right there. You can enchant tools. See that? And we also can enchant armor. And then one more thing you can enchant is you can enchant books. And this is useful if you want to just save an enchantment for later on. So you can put an enchantment into a book, get an enchanted book that way. We'll take that Unbreaking 3 right here. Here's our enchanted book. We can then use that to place that enchantment onto a tool or armor or weapon later on if you want to. So you are able to save these enchantments inside of books. Now you can't use chiseled bookcases for setting up the power for your enchanting table, but you can use chiseled bookcases if you want to for storing your enchanted books. It's kind of a fun way to do it. Or just drop them into a chest. Let's go ahead, we'll set that up right here. And we'll grab that, and I'll put that chiseled bookcase or bookshelf right here. And we'll grab our book, right click, and that just drops in just like that. And you can then right click and bring that back out again. So you drop those in and out. You can put in quite a few this way. There we go. One of those new features here inside of Minecraft 1.20 are these chiseled bookshelves. I think they look real nice, especially if you're using them next to other bookshelves like I have right over here. It just adds some variety to your look, and then it is a great place to come in and store your enchanted books. Now, it said that you had to put your bookshelves 1 block away, have 1 block of airspace in here away from your enchanting table. It actually has changed just a little bit here in Minecraft 1.20. I'm not really sure how useful this is, but you can have replaceable blocks in here. Now, a replaceable block is a block that changes to a different block when you right-click on that block. Let me just demonstrate that. I have a little setup out here to show you some of these replaceable blocks. Once you get the idea, it's pretty obvious. And let's just get this out of the way, and I'll grab my grass block right here. First one is tall grass. If I right-click on this, I get that grass block straight off. Same thing here for a fern, right-click, and there's a grass block. Right-click on grass, and there's a grass block. Now, if I try to right-click over here, notice that I can't put that on that flower. It doesn't replace with just 1 click. I could break it and then put down a block, but it's not going to replace it in one click. So that flower is not a replaceable block. But we do have that over here with water. One click, it replaces water, and with fire, one click, and it replaces fire. So there you go. That's what a replaceable block is. And that means that you could have in here, if you wanted to, you could have water up in here. Might be kind of neat. Put another bookshelf right there and make an aquarium out of this. Haven't seen that yet. Might be interesting to do. You can put fire in here, but fire might burn down your bookshelves. You don't want that. You can put grass in there. Not really sure why you want to have grass in there. But there's a few things you can put in there now that were inside of Minecraft 1.20. Any of those replaceable blocks can be in between the bookshelves and the enchanting table. Now, different materials have different enchantability levels. The lower the enchantability level, the worse enchantments you're likely to get. The higher the enchantability level, the better enchantments you're likely to get. So in order in here, in sequence, if we're talking about weapons and we're talking about tools, then the worst is stone. Next up is diamond for whatever odd reason. Then iron, wood, and netherite are similar. And then finally, gold has the best enchantability. Now for armor, similar. Worst armor is iron, and then diamond, and then chainmail, and then leather, and netherite, and then gold. So gold has your best enchantability. Now that's useful if you're going to be spending a lot of time inside of the nether. You have the best chance of getting some good enchantments on gold armor and gold tools. Now when you're adding enchantments onto something, let's just set this up here, right click, I'll put my lapis right there. I'll put up an iron pickaxe right here. Now we have all of our bookshelves and I have plenty of levels in here. So I have three options. Notice I have Unbreaking 2, Unbreaking 3, and Efficiency 4. Now I can't change these, so I'm stuck with these. If I take this out, put it back up again, I have those exact same enchantments. So I'm stuck with this until I recycle this by using up one of these enchantments. To recycle this to something else, what I need to do is to put a cheap enchantment onto a cheap tool. So let's just get this out of the way. And I'll use the stone pickaxe, real cheap. And I'll use the efficiency 2, and I'll put it onto that stone pickaxe. There we go. And that cleans this out and recycles this. So now if I put the iron pickaxe back in again, we have efficiency 2, unbreaking 2, and fortune 3. So these have changed on us right here. Because we've used up one of the enchantments, it then recycles what we have available over here. Now, it won't necessarily always show things that are different and may end up showing you the same stuff. That's a possibility. Just use another one of your junk tools to change those over, and then have a different list up here to choose from. Now, on the left-hand side, the 1, 2, 3, this is the number of lapis lazuli and the number of XP that are going to be used up whenever you choose one of these three over here. It's either 1, 2, or 3. On the right side, where it says 7, 11, and 30, this is the number of XP that you have to have available in order to get this particular enchantment. And that's why you want to have a lot of XP, so you can then use any enchantment that you want. Now, there is a way to get different options up in here. Let me just take these out of there. And that's by changing the number of bookshelves that are powering the enchanting table. So if I put a torch right here, that's going to block the enchantment from that bookshelf right here. So I now only have 14 giving me power. Let's just right click on this. We'll put everything back in again. There we go. And notice I now have different options in here. Unbreaking 1, Unbreaking 2, and Efficiency 3. Let's just do that again. Put another torch right down over here. That blocks that bookshelf back into the enchanting table. Put these back in again. And again, I have different options in here this time. So you can cycle through and look at and get different options by blocking different bookshelves. Let's get those out of the way. Now, the fun way to do this is by having bookshelves that you can hide in the floor. It does the exact same thing. By hiding some bookshelves, it's going to allow you then to change the options that you get, and you can do different combinations of that. I have mine set up here so that the front 2 bookshelves here and the front 2 here on a switch. I have 3 over here on a switch. I have my back 5 on a switch, and these 3 on a switch. So if I come over here and I hide those 2, I'll now get different enchantments showing up inside of the enchantment table without having to use a bunch of tools to change that around. So it gives you more flexibility by having these hidden bookshelves. I can show or hide different combinations and get different numbers of bookshelves that are being used for the enchanting table. And then that gives me a lot more options or flexibility when I'm trying to find the enchantments that I want. And I'll show you how I set this up at the end of this video. It's a little complicated, but it's not that bad. And I've already made a couple of these books in here, these enchanted books. Let me show you how you add an enchantment from an enchanted book onto a tool or weapon or armor. What you need is an anvil. So I'll put one down right over here. And I have one there. Let's just put that torch out of the way. There you go. Anvil goes right here. And that still works. That's fine. Okay, let's open the anvil up. And in here you can either repair or rename items, and you can add enchantments. Let's take our iron pickaxe, put it right here, and then put the enchanted book right there. And that then gives me an iron pickaxe with that Unbreaking 3. It takes it from the book and puts it onto the pickaxe. At this point, this is an enchantment cost of 3. Now, one thing about this, the more you add enchantments on here, the more expensive it becomes. So you'll see this getting pretty expensive over time. So use this sparingly. It's a nice trick, but use it sparingly. It's better just to cycle through a bunch of enchantments and not begin spending all of your XP. Unless you have a ton of XP, if you have an XP farm, great, no problem to go ahead and use this. At some point, it will get too expensive as this number gets higher and higher as you're adding in more enchantments. Let's take this out of here, put it over here. Another enchanted book right here. And notice how that number has now gone up. Let's just try a different enchantment. The enchanted cost goes up each time you do this. Now, you also can remove enchantments from items if you want to. Let's say I just wanted to get some books back, or I was using my stone pickaxes to store enchantments. I can then get those back again if I wanted to, and get a little bit of the XP back again as well. Not all of it, but a little bit of it. So it helps a bit. Let's go over here and let's place a grindstone down on this side. And have a grindstone right there. There we go. Let's just place that right there. Open this up, and then let's take that enchanted stone pickaxe, and that removes that enchantment and gives me back just a little bit of XP. It's not a huge amount, but just a little bit. So you can use this to clean up enchantments that you no longer want to have on things and get back the regular book or your regular tool or armor or whatever. Okay, so now take a look at all of the available enchantments. And they come in 3 basic categories. You have your regular enchantments. You have some enchantments that you find in books, enchanted books inside of chests and treasure chests. And you also have the Curse of Vanishing and the Curse of Binding. And those 2 curses cannot be removed with the grindstone. Now, the number after the enchantment is the maximum number. So you can go here with the power. You can have 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. And you also can't have more than 1 enchantment on an item. You can have several enchantments, but they can't be the same kind of enchantment. For instance, if I was enchanting the diamond axe and I had smite on here, I also couldn't have sharpness because they're similar enchantments. I could have one or the other. And for the same reason, if I had unbreaking, I couldn't have mending because they're basically similar enchantments, but I could have one or the other. Now, to have multiple enchantments, let's go over here to the anvil. And I'll take my enchanted pickaxe. Unbreaking 3 is on that. And we'll take one of our books here. Here's a power 1, cost of 2 on that. And that then gives me the Unbreaking 3 plus that power 1. So you can add multiple enchantments onto one item. Okay, so now take a look and see how this is done, where I have my hiding bookshelves like that. Move that one up. And I'll knock these down. And I'll quickly take out this floor here, and we'll see how this is put together. Okay, here's the mechanism. It's actually very simple. It's just a sticky piston with a bookshelf on top, just like that, and then redstone running out of that. Now, you need to have a solid block right here, or this is not going to work with the 3. So you set your 3 up. First one goes in, put a solid block on top. Next one goes in, and then this one will follow through. And let's flip our switch. There you go. There's down, and there's up. Now, I did one little trick here on the outside. Notice I run this outside of the wall there, and that's hidden outside with a fake wall. And that one trick is to give me this up position when the bookshelves are up, or the down position when the bookshelves are down. We actually have to reverse the way that that works. Let me go outside, and I'll show you that. And here you go. The lever is right behind this block. It's on the other side of that block. And behind that, of course, I have some redstone. And then to invert that signal so that I have the switch up when the bookshelves are up, I place a torch right down here. So the torch is actually powering the bookshelves, powering those sticky pistons, and then the lever is just turning on or turning off that torch. So if the lever is in the upright position, that allows the torch to be on, and the torch then powers those pistons. If the lever is down, then this redstone is on, and the torch is off, and that then doesn't power the pistons, and the pistons go down. So aside from that one little trick right here, it's actually pretty straightforward. This also allows me to get this in one more block. If I didn't have this torch here, I'd have to come out one more block to make my stair step work. But with the torch, I can stay just one block outside. And then look around over here, and you see I just simply have that enclosed just like that. And that's the first lever on one of the side walls, and there's a second lever, the one towards the other room right over here. And they're just hidden inside of that little basic box. So just a fake wall covering that redstone contraption. And then inside, the whole thing is just hidden with some oak planks. And they just come in right on top like that. And they're a perfect match for the top of those bookshelves. Okay, let's just bring this all back up again. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you let me know that by sending me a thanks. Just click on that little thanks button right down there, bottom right-hand corner just below the video. My videos are completely fan supported here, so if you want to help me keep on making videos, then show your support by sending me a thanks. Also check out my channel for a whole bunch more Minecraft videos. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.